Hey, it's Amy, and we're back talking Dallas Cowboys football this week against Green Bay. Okay, so I'm going to have to get new enamel for my teeth because I ground them off watching this game. This was horrible. I was so suckered in. I was so thinking, maybe it was wrong and this team really is the real deal, and I was all excited and I was drinking the Kool-Aid, and now this. Very disappointing. But it's not just me. Everybody was looking at 8-2. What a great start. And Jimmy Johnson on the morning show was saying, Dallas Cowboys, go to the Super Bowl. Well, it's all come crashing back to reality now, hasn't it? So, let's take a look. Tony Romo. Romo, I can't really blame this game all on Romo because he had no pass protection whatsoever. The offensive line was so bad, I don't think they could have kept a pack of kindergartners off of Romo. It was terrible. Flozell Adams was getting beat by a rookie. This is bad. This is coming on the heels of 2 games ago when I pointed out that Flozell couldn't stop a 3-man rush, had to commit a hold to keep him off of Romo. So I'm not sure what's going on with Flozell. I don't know. I don't want to think about him getting at the end of his career, but he's been in for a while, and it's looking like he's slowing down a little bit this season. The other person, Roy Williams. Roy had a major fumble, and Flozell and Roy are simply paid too much money to be making mistakes like this, so step it up. Yeah, very disappointing by Roy Williams. Every week I say, Roy, live up to the hype. And I've yet to see it, so I'm not really going to back down on Roy until I see a really good game out of him. Nick Folk. I, unfortunately, due to broadcasting in my area, missed Nick Folk missing his field goal. I'm hoping that this is just a little glitch and he'll be back to his usual reliable self in the next week. So I'm not too worried about that yet. Hopefully, he won't get the yips. Don't get the yips, Nick. We need reliable players. Coaching. I thought the coaching in this game was an absolute disaster. You know, for the past few weeks, I've really been giving Jason Garrett kudos, saying, hey, you know, you're mixing it up. You've got different receiving targets. There's a lot going on. And that just all seemed to disintegrate in this game. There was no run game. There wasn't really a good passing game either because the offensive line was unable to control the pass rush against Romo. In addition, throughout this whole game, we suffered so many injuries to our players. Dallas had one of the least injured teams so far this year, and yet Colombo's out. Hamlin is questionable. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in terms of injuries now. So I thought the coaching was really bad, and I didn't understand a few things. They couldn't establish a run game, and yet in the second quarter, they're at 3rd and 16, and they do a screen. Why? We can't establish anything with the run. You've got 16 yards. Are you afraid that if you throw to Roy, he's going to fumble? I don't know. Same thing happens again in the third quarter. It's 3rd and 23, and they run a screen behind the line of scrimmage. We hadn't gotten the running game going all game. Why did they think that was going to work? So again, Dallas did not convert on 3rd downs was the big problem. A lot of 3-and-outs and timeout management in terms of coaching was terrible as well. I didn't understand that. It was just a mess. The defense. I don't want to say the defense was awful. They didn't stink up the field as much as the offense did, but they didn't have enough pressure on anything. They let Donald Driver burn them several times when they should not have. You can't play zone on Donald Driver. You got to play one-on-one. And Jenkins showed a little bit of his inexperience by letting Don Driver get away with some big catches. They couldn't control the run on Green Bay's side either. So I don't know. The defense was bad. They weren't as bad as the offense, but they were bad. And now let's go to the worst part of this whole game, in my opinion, officiating. Jeff Triplett, please, retire. Just do us all a huge favor and retire. You and your crew are just penalty happy, and you have made a major screw-up. The screw-up on the fumble call is just really inexcusable. I know the referees are not perfect, but Triplett and his team in particular, I think, are bad. So please do us all a favor, hang up your whistle, and let's get some fresh blood out on the field who's got a little bit better better vision maybe. I don't know. I hate to say that the refs are blind, but this just didn't seem to be particularly egregiously bad play calling. That's my scoop on Green Bay. I'm just incredibly disappointed. You know, I was all on board for this huge, you know, go in. I mean, Green Bay was 4-4. There's no reason that Dallas shouldn't have beat them, and yet the old Dallas Cowboys showed up, the ones that, you know, beat themselves. So, even though 7-3 really isn't a bad record, I mean, I think about 7-3, most teams would be happy to be 7-3. I guess what just irks me is that this team has just not lived up to its potential. It could be so much better. They could be so much more. So they're up against Washington next week. Washington is, I think, 3-6. They're having a really bad year, so I expect Dallas to really come in and you know, just dominate this game. Let's see what happens. So thanks. See y'all next week.